Many students face a number of obstacles with literacy skills development requiring intervention that provides a means of scaffolding to foster successful outcomes. To create an environment that is conducive to the cognitive growth and development of all students, it is effective to implement appropriate assisted technologies along with environmental strategies such as centers, entry points, tiered activities, learning contracts, and small group instruction. Differentiation instruction among these environmental strategies support all learners and their learning styles, allowing for the receiving of information and the demonstration of that information on specified topics and subject matter. There are three main useful center types for differentiated instruction: enrichment centers, skill centers, interest and exploratory centers. The one we will look at specifically is the learning center. This type of center will foster written and verbal expression through examples such as art criticism, illustration, and comics. Visual arts as a catalyst to support verbal and written expression creates an effective means for building semantic elements among students. According to Wilhelm, throughout, students are practicing what expert composers do, coding their text with cues to the topic of the conversation the text takes up, highlighting key details in the conversation, and structuring the details through the visual arts genre. To assist students in activities, the incorporation of an augmentative alternative communication system can be used for students with text and written expression challenges and possible physical impairments. This device allows students to select letters or words spoken aloud in a pre-recorded or generated voice. This device also provides opportunities for students unable to use their hands, with a variety of features such as eye tracking, head pointing, joystick, or switches, fosters the possibility for students to be engaged in the learning activity or activities. Another verbal or written expression technology is voice recognition software. This AT takes audio content and transcribes it into written words in a word processor, allowing students with physical impairments to be engaged in classroom activities involving text. These devices will provide the opportunities for students requiring AT to be involved in the learning and educational process. For instance, depending on the classroom activities, students with AT can easily be involved with learning centers. Some learning center activity examples are the creation of text and verbal expression through the process of art criticism based on historical and contemporary art reproductions. Students might be assigned a piece of art by a well-known artist, then interpret that art by creating written expression of how that piece of art makes them feel and allow the formulation of inferences about what the artist was trying to say, fostering connections with students' experiences and prior knowledge. Another activity would involve using text through figurative language such as alliteration, and to create a visual image reinforcing the created alliteration by each student. The AT would allow students to formulate their alliteration and to convey the type of illustration desired. Students with mobile impairments may require further assistance by an aide or instructor to illustrate their alliteration based on the student's visual element choices communicated by an assisted technology device. Another activity would involve using text to reinforce language arts elements through the development and creation process of comic strips. Students will apply a variety of key elements in writing such as character development, plot, dialogue, action sequence, figurative language, and narration. Students would be required to create a comic strip with 3 panels. These panels would involve 3 panels using at least 2 characters, props, speech balloons, onomatopoeia, and a gag. Students with mobile impairments that prevent them from creating hand-drawn images could use the online platforms such as Storyboard That, Canva, Make Believes Comics to create images of depicting their illustration. Using visual arts to develop and engage students in written and verbal expression fosters what a composer codes into text a reader must notice and interpret to fulfill the composing, written, and reading contract. Setting up station areas to implement the use and development of text and written expression would support student growth and the UDL framework. The UDL 2.5 checkpoint states, providing alternatives to traditional reading and writing text, especially illustrations, simulations, images, or interactive graphics, can make the information in text more comprehensible. By involving figurative language elements into the visual arts curriculum develops the use and application in writing to make explicit links between information and text. Also using historical and contemporary artworks will foster four main objectives: describe, analysis, interpret, and evaluate. Additionally, the UDL 4.2 lays out the importance of assistive technology for students needing support, but also highlights the need for support required to use the assistive technology efficiently and the elimination possible barriers that may prevent learning outcomes. Prerequisites for both teacher and students to successfully work with the technologies would require training on the AT for its successful implementation and longevity. For teachers, there would need to be training on how to turn on and off the devices, how to input, delete data, how to initiate customization, and ways to use the AT to effectively support student growth in classroom material. For students requiring AT, there would need to be training demonstrating on how to use the interface effectively to achieve the desired results that are needed in completing assignments and tasks in the classroom. Additionally, prerequisites for students to successfully initialize the AT device would be writing and typing, properly using spelling and grammar, syntax, and organizing content, just to name a few. It may also prove beneficial for teachers and students to know the limitations and restrictions of the AT device. One of the most valuable gifts we possess is the ability to express ourselves through writing in a variety of forms. It is a catalyst to convey our emotions, experiences, and dreams. The world, since the beginning of man, has benefited from this amazing gift. However, expression through writing is impaired for many young individuals that are unable to use their hands, preventing the expression of thoughts or words effectively, creating a delinquency in listening, speaking, and reading. Fortunately, with assistive technology, these individuals are able to engage in written expression and experience an enriching education with successful outcomes that are sure to continue.